My name is Dustin Williams, and this is a 2005 Mitsubishi Evo 8. It's the Tokyo Drift Evo. It's the ground zero, patient zero Tokyo Drift Evo. This is the car that inspired all of the Tokyo Drift Evo cars that were in the movie. It's got a really unique story. So there's only one of these cars still in existence anywhere. APR built this car and was approached by Universal to use the rights of the car in the movie, and that's how the Tokyo Drift Evo came about. This car was actually built and used for SEMA back in the early 2000s, and after SEMA, it was used for the movie world tour. So it was used to go around the world, promote Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift movie. So it went to China, Mexico, all over the world to promote the movie, and came back to America and just sat. And I found this car maybe about 5 years ago, and it was just sitting in the back of the APR warehouse. And to make a really long story short, I was able to make an offer on the car and buy my ultimate dream hero car. It wasn't running at the time. It had been sitting for 15 years, whatever it was. And I had a crazy thick layer of fiberglass and dust on it. Like it hasn't moved in a long, long time. Oh man, okay. So our first thing that we tackled when this car came into our possession, kind of just the general maintenance. That's what we started with first. When we bought it from APR, they had said once it got off the boat from the world tour, it just wasn't running. And things move so fastly in the automotive world that it was time for them to get on to the next project for next year's SEMA. And this one kind of got put on the back burner and just never really ran after that. Car not running for 15 years, probably the first thing to do is flush it out completely and start from there, which was good. It worked. We noticed the oil was old. We needed coolant flush. We did all the spark plugs, the basic necessities, and that didn't work. So we kind of traced it back from what we know. Why is this car not starting? It's got spark, it's so on, so on. So our next thought was, if this car was sitting with fuel in it for a long time, we should probably check the fuel tank and replace the fuel pump and filter. And that's when we found the big issue. This had fuel sitting in it for who knows how long, and the tank was completely rusted. Everything, the fuel pump was not working, the filter was bad. Go a little bit further with that, and we dropped the tank and we put a fuel cell into it, which replaced the entire fuel system, so lines and everything. And with all the work that we did, doing all the maintenance, replacing the fuel system, the car started.
Whoa! Oh, shut the f up! Oh my God, no!
Which was so epic. That feeling of like your childhood dream car not running and you being able to get it to start was like, that was the best feeling in the world. We went crazy in the shop.
You're real rich right now.
A lot of the cool things you can see are takeaways from the livery, as well as if you look on the interior, a lot of the gauges are the same, as well as the cage with the foam, the red foam cage protectors. It's really cool. It's a lot of good Easter eggs when you come and see this car and look at it from the movie car's perspective as well. There's a lot of cool similarities in the two different cars. I was really young when Fast and Furious 1 and 2 came out, but the third movie, Tokyo Drift, is kind of when I was growing up and right around when I was getting my first car. And that's when I could really understand like what the movies were and what was happening in the movie. And Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift was what really dove me headfirst into like the Japanese car culture. Whether it's like extremely accurate or not, but that's what really got me interested in Japanese cars. And one of the main cars in the movie was the Evo, and I just fell in love when Han threw Sean the keys and was like, "Red Evo's yours." Like that was like the moment for me, and that was my favorite movie out of the entire franchise. It kind of just like gave me a different taste of what cars can be and what car culture is. And this car being that hero car in the movie kind of just stayed with me forever. And that was my dream car to the entire franchise, and kind of like what really got me into Japanese car culture and cars in general. So I think that this is like a really special piece of automotive history and a really special piece to the franchise being, this is what laid the groundwork for the movie car. And it's really cool that I'm able to have it and be able to show it off to everybody that might be a fan of the franchise, and the fact that it still runs extremely low mileage. I mean, it was used literally for just that time during the world tour, and SEMA, it's got 14,000 original miles. I think the livery is what's the most iconic part about it, the red color, of course. But when you see the APR livery, you just put two and two together and it's like, that's the car, right? And what's really special about this as well is when we were rebuilding it and getting it back up and running, we didn't change anything. We left it all as it was back in the 2000s. So it's still got all the original HKS 2000s bits in the engine bay. That is the original paint, that is the original livery. Interior is left original as well. So everything that you're seeing on this car is from when they built it back in the 2000s. I hope that it just reminds people of that time, like that Fast and Furious era. I feel like those Tokyo Drift cars are very, very special. Such a unique movie in the entire franchise that you don't ever really see a lot of them around, and people tend to lean more towards Fast and Furious 1, maybe the Eclipse, or in Fast and Furious 2, the R34. I think when people get to see this car, it'll bring really good memories back of how awesome that movie is and what it kind of did for the car community and the car culture. It's such a bright and vibrant car, and I feel like all of the cars in Tokyo Drift were very, very special cars. This one in particular, I think maybe is forgotten. Hope it brings back memories and shed some light on what an awesome movie that Tokyo Drift was. Another favorite thing that we did on the channel with the car is I wanted to take it back to its quote-unquote homeland. So we shipped this car all the way to Japan, and I kept it in Japan for a little over a year doing some travels with it. I got to race it at Attack Challenge at Scuba Circuit. It's just got a really unique story. Aside from being in the Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, I got to take it on so many different adventures and continue that story for myself, which was really special for me. Because like I said, it's my hero dream car, and being able to restore it ourselves and give it my own story and my own lineage to the car, it was really, really special for me. It's just crazy that I'm able to be a part of this car's legacy and what this car could potentially mean to so many people. It's still alive, and I want to keep the legacy going with the car. And I think being able to put it here at the Petersen for everybody to enjoy, no matter where you are, if you can come visit the museum, you get to come see this awesome piece of history that you might have forgotten about.